Have you ever wondered how the other half live? Well, here it is. The Monument plastic 22mm pipe slice. And this one is a used one. And it's just an interesting case study in how, different tools at different price points fare in the real world. This one was used and then abandoned by somebody in a loft somewhere, because, it's a lot cheaper and easier to just buy another one, being it made out of plastic and being fairly cheap and nasty, than to maintain and, a better tool and just use that forever. I'll show you what we have at the other end of the spectrum. Same company, same manufacturer, the Monument Auto Cut. And here we have two distinct philosophies. Cheap and nasty and throw away and keep it and give it to your daughter to, wear on her wedding day sort of deal. And it's quite interesting to see what wears out. Now this one's been in rotation for almost a year now, this 22, and I haven't cleaned it yet. I might give it a little clean, but to be honest, ever since I coated the internal components with that acrylic spray-on stuff, I've not had any problems with rusting. The most I'll do is just take a brush now and brush this rubbish out. Maybe put a little ballastol in there, but I don't think it needs it. It's still quite oily. You don't want a lot of oil in these anyway, because it'll attract dust and make a sort of shmoo-like substance. But here's the other one, and it's had absolutely no maintenance that I can tell done on it. And we're going to pop it apart and see the differences in design and, and how well it's held up. Now in theory, a plastic cutter should be better, yeah, because it doesn't rust and it's also more lightweight. And, my younger self was very tempted to have these on his belt because they don't weigh anything. There's very little metal in here. But, as we shall see, it's extra crusty. Ugh. Look at these rollers. They're made of plastic. You can see how they're just worn right out. Ugh. Nasty. Look at that one. It's not even turning. It's not a good sign when your roller doesn't turn. It's because this piece of, I don't know what it is. It must be some sort of steel because it's rusted. But I imagine it's just the cheapest, nastiest kind of steel they could have found. And you can see how it's just rusted and rusted that roller solid. It doesn't help you cut pipe when the pipe doesn't roll in the thing, hence why this was abandoned. Now if you're some sort of mad person, you could, in theory, restore this. But, just look at it. It's just nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. And I appear to have lost a roller as well. Look at these little screws. They're just little wood screws and they just bite in there. Nasty. Lots of bits to go wrong. This is clearly not designed to be a time efficient thing to take apart. Come on, you bastard. Get off of there. I'm pretty sure there's meant to be 4 rollers there. I'll have to rewind the video and see. Oh, there it is. Yeah, 4 rollers on a nasty little steel chassis in the middle. And then this is the lid. And another disadvantage to this type, again, although it's cheaper and it's a throwaway item, conceptually it doesn't cut the pipe as well because it doesn't have this spring here pushing the blade like this. So it's not applying an even cutting pressure all the way around. Once you close this lid, it says it on the side here somewhere, or at least I thought it did. It had instructions on it. Monument cut, Monument tools, blah 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 blah, patent. No, it doesn't anymore. They used to say on them, the old ones, they used to say close. It just used to say close here, and once that was closed, obviously this blade isn't going to move backwards or forwards. That's just the set distance. They worked it out. That is just the set distance that's slightly smaller than the ID of the tube, and so what you've got is just the blade coming in full force and crushing the side of the tube as you start your cut. And it means that you don't get as good a finish on the pipe, and then in turn it doesn't like to go into the fittings as much as, say, one cut with this would, because you're not applying the same pressure at each point around it. And it's also a lot stiffer to operate, even if you grease it up. And on the whole, these things are just nasty. But there is a reason for them to exist. I mean, not everybody can have nice metal proper pipe cutter like that. You know, there is a reason. And you can, in theory, even change the blades on these, I believe. Or not. Maybe you can't get this apart. Not that you'd want to, but there's no other screw that I can see. In fact, there's no other... Oh, I know what that screw does. That probably just holds that metal piece in there. Let's try getting that out. Need a hooky thing or something. No. I just need like a little thing just to scoop in there or something. Don't know where my pipe grips have gone. I think they're gone. From the last time we were doing some video. Oh, I know where they are. I know where they are. They'll be in here. Or not. Yes, they are. Alright. Yeah. Yep. No way that's coming out of there. Oh wait, no, it's starting to. There we go. So yeah, that bit comes off, and then you're still no closer to changing the blade. So you can't maintain these in any way, shape or form. Like it's riveted in, you see. You might even be able to get the grip. No, you can't. Because conventional wisdom would have that you could squeeze this. If they made this like a U-shaped piece of metal, like these two were joined up, and it'd be like a little pair of tweezers, and you'd depress that and you could get the thing off and then get the blade out. But this is just completely, you know, soldered in. Well, not soldered in, it's riveted in, and it's never coming out. You'll never change the blade, and there's just no point. It's just, you know, nasty throwaway cutter. But it is an interesting look, and these do have their place. I mean, you know, in colleges and, you know, other such places where you don't want to give somebody an expensive tool that they can do a better job with and take pride in. Instead, you want to give them a nasty tool, and then when they lose it, it's not the end of the world. But that has all been fodder. You can't even salvage the blade or anything out of them. As compared to this, you can take this apart. You can take a little brush. I've got one here, I have several, and just give it a little sweep. Sweep the shit out of there. Much better. Take the small parts out first so they don't go flying. Most of them anyway. Oh, there's a little screw in there, don't want that. As long as you don't... Basically, the part that is most likely to wear out due to user error is the self-tapper going into the metal here. As long as you don't over tighten this or cross thread it and chew this metal up inside here, you're basically good to go. And I reckon even if you did that, you could probably drill and tap this with a you know, put a proper bolt or something in there to hold this together, because there's quite a lot of spare material there, as you can see, and you could go all the way through and have a bolt on both sides, because all it is just to clamp this together. You have your location pins to align them. As long as they don't break off as well, you'll be fine. But this metal, don't know what it is, but it's better than the Rothenbergers, which are just made out of neat cast aluminium. This is some sort of alloy, and it's harder, but at the same time it's not brittle, it doesn't shatter. And so you don't end up with those little pins like just snapped off like you do on the Rothenbergers. It's quite strange. You know, it's just a completely different animal to this pile of shit here. Oh, almost forgot something very important. Easily done though, eh? So yeah, I hope you found that interesting, and I hope that will influence your buying decisions and make you buy a decent fucking cutter. Especially if you give it to somebody who's got to do a lot of pipe cutting, and then you're gonna go after him and say, oh, the pipes won't go into the fittings, and oh, it's not a very nice cut on the end of that, you need to deburr that. Or maybe if, you know, you had a good splice in the first place, you know, you wouldn't be in that situation, so you get in what you put out. And there you have it. Easily maintained, easily taken apart. How long did we spend taking apart this crusty thing, just to find out that we can't even fix the damn thing? Too long. That is all bin fodder. I suppose you could use these as little spacers for your clips. You know, when you're clipping up and you want to add a little, step it off the wall a little bit, you could put those in there. Those would be perfect. Except I don't care, and I don't, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with using little stubs of pipe to do the same thing. So, ta-da! And as always, thank you for watching.